So, Shresh, introduce yourself. Start with your introduction.
Thank you, sir, for providing me this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Shresh Johri. I belong to a town named Rampur from Uttar Pradesh. Most of my schooling I've done from Rampur only, and I did my graduation in Bachelor's in Technology in Computer Science and Engineering from Ghaziabad. I'm currently employed as a systems engineer in Infosys Limited for past 18 months. I'm a sports enthusiast, so I like to follow quite a few sports like cricket, football, Formula One, and rarely tennis as well. And me and my friends, when we get some time free, mostly over the weekends, we like to have a few games of badminton as well.
So, you are a sports enthusiast, right?
Yes, sir.
So, today, new Indian team has been announced for a new tour, right? And a very new
Yes, sir,
name,
for the Sri Lanka
very
tour.
new name came across as a vice captain of Team India.
Yes, sir. Jasprit Bumrah.
Very good, very good, good. And you are a software engineer.
Yes, sir. I'm software engineer. I'm currently working with Infosys Limited.
Perfect. So you must be very well aware of the fact that we use a particular software in banks. What is the name of that particular software?
Yes, sir. So there are two softwares that are basically used in most of the public sector banks. One is Pinnacle, which is actually developed by Infosys, and one is Bank, BANTS.
Good. And the current version of the Finacle that we are using in banks right now?
Sorry, sir, I don't recollect that.
No issues, no issues. So you know something about NPA?
Yes, sir, non-performing assets.
And how many type of NPAs are there?
So three types of NPAs are there, divided into three parts. If I recall them correctly, they are divided into three parts: SMA 0, SMA 1, and SMA 2.
And the time durations?
If I'm not mistaken. Time duration, sir, I'm a little hazy on the details. Sorry, sir, I can't.
No issues. No issues. As you are a software engineer, you must be very well aware of the term blockchain.
Yes, sir. Blockchain is currently a technology. It's very much in use. They are using this technology to build cryptocurrencies, the digital currencies, which is really famous. Some of them are Bitcoin.
Shresh, speak louder. Speak louder.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Okay. Even in the latest finance budget, like Prime Minister and the Finance Minister has considered it as a very forward-moving and technology-driven. In the upcoming financial year, from the 2020 to 2023, RBI will be introducing a new cryptocurrency, and they've imposed some taxes on the trading and mining of such cryptocurrencies. So, like, they're looking forward to be a part of this digital transformation also.
Okay, good. Anurag, sir?
Yeah. Hi, Shresh.
Hello, sir.
Shresh, how does cryptocurrencies, blockchains work?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of the entire working of that blockchain technology. But it's actually built on that, so the security and the working and the mining and the entire thing, it's driven in the backend, and blockchain is a particular technology that we use. So this is the information that I'm aware of. I've never used it. I've never come across any thing where I need that information to particular. Yeah.
Okay. What is UPI?
Okay. UPI is a unified payments payment. It's basically a digital transaction system, unified payment initiative. So a person can transfer money from one account to another, or pay at a merchant or at a retail shop, or anything like from his or her account through its wallet, through his mobile wallet, through internet banking or digital banking. With the use of internet, so basic transaction with the use of internet is basically the entire motive of a UPI. So,
what do you think is the key driver behind UPI? How does it work as an interface?
Okay, key driver behind a UPI. Sorry, sir, I have no knowledge about that.
Okay, what is a QR code?
QR code is basically a unique code that a person can scan to reach to a particular website or particular link that he or she wants to access. So it's a uniquely identified code that can be generated for a particular website or particular web page.
What are the three pillars of Indian Constitution?
Sorry, sir. If I may take a chance on this, I'd say judiciary is one of the pillars. Media is one of the pillars of the Indian Constitution.
what is often referred to as the fourth pillar of Indian Constitution?
I think media is considered as the fourth pillar of the constitution, which is hidden and works in driving the Indian constitution and implementation of that.
So, Shresh, I think I missed out on your educational background. So, what stream you are qualified from and what college?
Sir, I'm qualified in computer science and engineering. I did my graduation from Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College from Ghaziabad.
So, it is a private or a government college?
Yes, it's a private college. It's affiliated to a state technical university, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University. So it's affiliated to that.
Fine. Over to you, Vikram.
Hi, Shresh.
Hi, Vikram, sir.
So you are an engineer, right?
Yes, sir.
Currently working with Infosys.
Yes, sir.
So why do you want to join a bank?
So banking is currently if I may say, it's the backbone of Indian economy. It's a booming sector. It's an ever-changing sector which is growing at a very rapid pace, and it has various opportunities for personals to see growth, be it personal growth, be it professional growth, and it provides a lot of stability. And with this digital transformation, with this technological revolution that the Indian government is trying to bring into it to each and every sector. Being an engineer, I think I can add value to that. I can be an asset in the nation building. Maybe I can take a part in building the nation and helping the nation. Helping others in different sectors. So various activities as part of my job profile.
Okay. So what is the role of IT in banking?
Sir, IT plays a very important role. So currently, most of all of the private sector banks, they are CBS, so core banking solutions. So they are all managed on a single network of multiple networks. A single bank is basically managed on a single network. So there comes the IT department, security purposes. So there's a lot of data that a bank has to deal with, a customer's private data, their transaction data. It's related with their money, so it needs a lot of security. So cyber security. So there comes the IT, and with the advancements in technology, digital currency or digital banking, internet banking, they're gonna be a very huge part of this entire banking sector. So IT is gonna play a very big role in this advancement, in this on moving forward, as moving forward.
Shresh, let's get into a little detail around this technology advancement. So, how do you think exactly, by an instance just described, how do you think exactly the technology is helping the banking industry?
Sir, it has reduced stress on banking personals. So lesser and lesser people are coming for daily transaction sort of situation. There is a lesser and lesser possibility of that. Most of the people are using that internet banking. And as we move forward, so digital currency is being introduced. So this will actually reduce the stress on banks. It will actually reduce the amount of investment the government is making in printing notes, and ATMs are there, so automation can also be introduced in banking. So smaller operations in day-to-day banking life that can be automated. So lesser personnel will be required, and efficient services can be provided to the customer, and even from the comfort of their homes.
What do you think Mudra loan is?
Mudra loan is for micro unit development and refinance agency. So anything apart from non-farming sector, be it production, be it trading, be it processing. So if any person who has a business plan regarding that, or revenue generating activities regarding these fields, non-farming fields, so they can apply for a loan for that. So the loan is divided into three parts. It's up to 50,000, then 50,000 to 5 lakhs, and then 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. So
and what are the name of those?
So Shikshu is there. It's up to 50,000. Tarun is there. It's for 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, and 50 to 10,000 is Kishore. Yeah, yes, sir, Kishore.
So tell me, what is refinancing?
Refinancing is actually, sir, if I'm setting up a business and I've set up a business, it's generating revenue, but I want to expand that business. I want to add some new details to that. and I need additional finance. So I've already opted for a
No,
loan.
no,
there,
no, no.
and I need additional loan.
It is
So,
not. It is not that. It is not that.
What are current accounts?
current accounts are very much similar to savings account, but instead they don't offer any interest rate, and there are no withdrawal limits for that, and a person doesn't have to maintain a minimum balance of that also. So for mostly for businesses that if they want a daily transaction, if they want to move the money on a daily basis, so they try to opt for that, because if they keep in savings account, if they move that, so there will be lesser interest. So that all these business operations, they mostly do it through current accounts.
What is the current rate of interest in current accounts?
I'm not sure, sir. Current account doesn't offer any interest rate, if I'm correct. So, okay, to recall.
Have you heard about BNPL?
Sorry, sir.
Have you heard about BNPL? Buy now, pay later.
No, sir. I'm not aware of that terminology.
So,
What are credit cards?
Credit cards are actually a plastic. It's sort of a plastic money that the banks issue to the customers, and they can take. It's sort of a person can take a loan up to a limit that is set according to that card. So if I have a credit card that has a limit of 30,000, so I can withdraw. I can use that card to pay up to 30,000, and then I'll have to pay that back later. So if I'm paying back in a certain amount, there's no rate of interest charge. If I'm paying that later, then this.
so Shrish, are you currently following the budget? Have you watched the budget, Nirmala Sitharaman?
Sir, I've read some highlights of it, so
Fine,
I'm
fine,
a little
fine.
bit of aware. A little bit aware.
So do you know something about fiscal deficit and revenue deficit?
Fiscal deficit, sir, I'm aware of. So fiscal deficit is actually the deficit if, for example, if a government is spending some amount of money and then they're generating some revenue on it. So the difference between that is called fiscal deficit if the amount they are, they're spending is more than the revenue they're generating.
So if we link it to something else, so do you know something about balance of payment?
No, sir, I'm not aware of the terminology.
Balance of trade?
No, sir.
Revenue deficit?
Revenue deficit? No, sir.
Current deficit?
No, sir.
Anurag?
So, what do you mean by banking correspondent?
Banking correspondent. So, a person who is a representative of a bank who is trying to interact with the customers.
What is the role of a banking correspondent? Why we employ a banking correspondent?
So there are various services that doesn't come under the day-to-day job of a clerical post or even a probationary officer, like maybe motivating people to opt for credit cards or motivating people to opt for loans or some other even services. So most of the public sector banks are even offering insurance nowadays. So the bank wants to promote the services. The bank wants to motivate the customers to opt for the service.
So
banking correspondent.
So according to you, banking correspondent is a cheerleader, right? He goes out there and cheer the people.
Not a cheerleader. Yeah, but sort of like they are motivating other people about the services, like their.
Banking correspondent is a backbone in rural India. Without banking correspondents, banks will not be able to survive in the rural areas, and they have a much wider sense, much wider role. So actually read on it.
Okay, sure. So I'll make a note of it.
Okay, let's talk about your hobbies. Who's your favorite cricketer?
So my favorite cricketer, I'd say Shane Watson. I've been following him.
Last match played by Shane Watson?
Last match played by Shane Watson, I believe it was in 2015 Cricket World Cup. He played not the final. He didn't play the final, but he played one of the matches.
And which team bought Chris Gayle this year?
He's been playing
in IPL?
This year, so Chris Gayle didn't enter the mega auction.
Great, yes.
But last year he was with Punjab.
So, Shrish, what are the different type of GST in India? How many type of GST taxes are there in India?
Sir, CGST and SGST I'm aware of.
And one more is there, IGST. And how many different type of percentages?
Okay.
There are some percentage slabs in GST. Do you know the?
Yes, sir. There are percentage slabs. So there's up to 5%. There's 5 to 12 and 18, 27. These are some major percentages that I remember.
Are
Okay.
banking services exempted from GST, or do they have an implication over their services?
If I recall correctly, sir, yes, GSTs are implied on banking services. Customers availing those services, GST is applied.
And
So, what do you mean by a service? So, what sort of services does bank give?
Core services, the main function is basically deposits. Customers can deposit their money, and
Fish.
one of the most revenue generating activity. Yes, sir.
Let me add on a point to it. So, basically,
Okay.
a service would be something for which the banks charge for deposits.
They give
basically,
interest.
They give interest. They do not charge anything over it.
yes.
Okay. That's the main service. I think it would be loans and the advances that they give. So there are at various interest rates. So that's the most revenue generating activity.
Okay. What do you become?
Okay. So, Shrest, what is the value of rupee with respect to dollar?
Its current value, it's at 70 rupees, if I'm not mistaken, it's 72. Couple of days back, I checked, it was 72 something, because I was trying to do some conversion for my work as well. So that's why I remember. I think if I'm not mistaken,
72.
What is currency devaluation?
72.
Currency devaluation.
See, devaluation is like decrement in the value of the currency as per international standards. Like the value of the currency, even in the economy also. So, if a person is buying something for something amount of money, and due to inflation, that has price of it has risen, so the person has to pay for it more. So that value of that particular amount of money.
And Sid, very recently, I read in news. Very recently, I read in news that some very big country devalued its currency. What was the name of the country?
Sorry, sir, I don't recall that.
Okay. So, what is the largest statue in the world?
Largest statue in the world.
You must be proud of it,
Statue of Unity. Statue of Unity.
right? And who on whose name it is made?
Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel.
Exactly, Iron Man.
Shresh, what are the upcoming state legislative assembly elections in the country?
So UP elections, Punjab elections, Goa elections, and Uttarakhand elections.
What are the current ruling parties into respective states?
Sir, Uttarakhand, UP, and Goa it's BJP, and in Punjab it's Congress.
And Shresh, I also see a mark on your finger.
In UP?
Yes, sir. I recently voted in the second phase.
So who is the current MLA in your constituency?
Sir Muhammad Azam Khan, Shri Muhammad Azam Khan.
Yeah. Great.
Okay, good.
So, any other questions left, Vikram sir, Anurag sir?
Just a few questions on the global front.
Right.
So, what are the economic ties between India and UAE?
There was a meeting. If I recall correctly, there was a meeting that took place recently, and there was some deals that were made. I don't exactly recall the details of those, but yeah, surely I'll make a note of it.
At least you must have come across a landmark number which was quoted into that deal. Any idea around that?
No, sir.
What is the current gold price?
No, sir. So no idea about that.
So, last question from my side. I'm very pretty sure that you must have heard about Ukraine and Russia conflict right now.
Yes.
Yes. So, who is the Prime Minister of Ukraine? Does Ukraine has a Prime Minister?
I'm not sure of that.
Who is the Prime Minister of Russia?
No, sorry, sir.
Who is the Prime Minister of Russia?
President. They have Russia president, so that's Vladimir Putin.
So okay. Last question. Name any 5 neighboring countries of India.
So Nepal, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Myanmar.
Sri Lanka is not border touching.
One last question.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure,
Just
sir.
to end this interview on a good note. Which Indian state has largest coastline?
Which Indian state has the largest coastline? I'd say Karnataka. Andhra Pradesh, I guess, used to have that, but since its division into Telangana, I think that has been reduced. So if I have to make an educated guess, I'd go with Karnataka.
You should see the map closely. You will get the answer.
Sure, sir. I'll do that.
Fine.
Okay.
So yes, fine. So let's end the interview here, Shesh. Fine. So now we all will give you some reviews from our end. Fine.
Sure, sir.
So let me start.
May I
Let me start with the review.
Let me please make a note of that also.
Fine. So on the confidence front, you are doing well. You are very confident in while answering the questions. On the knowledge front as well, I think you are okay. I will rank you above 67%. Fine. But again, there was a very unique point here where Anurag sir actually put you off the hook. He actually asked you series of questions where you were not able to answer. And in the middle, I was also actually bucking you off the road. So on that front, after those questions, you went off the hook and you actually started giving wrong answers to the questions that you actually know. As you yourself mentioned that you have checked the dollar prices some time back. The dollar prices have not gone through 75 rupees for I think last 6 months. Fine, they are over and above 75. So that was a thing where you actually conflict your identity or your ideas. Fine, if you are not sure,
Okay.
give a educated guess. See, this is what I'm actually trying to help you here. Don't conflict your ideas.
Yeah, sure, sir.
Fine.
Okay, sure, sir.
Anurag
I'll
sir,
keep that in
Vikram sir,
mind.
any other reviews?
Yeah, I need to add a few points. In the interview, you are using slangs, plenty of slangs, like I gonna be. Don't use that.
Okay.
Corporate
They're gonna
language.
performance. Don't use that. Second, you need
Sure,
to work
sir.
on your knowledge as well. You have given plenty wrong answers, like in current accounts. It's not good that you are confident you can speak anything. You have to stop there. If you don't know the answer, don't give wrong answers continuously. It's gonna irritate the interviewer.
Okay, sure, sir. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah.
Take this as a feedback.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Fine. Anurag sir,
Thank you,
any
Anurag.
feedback?
Shreya, firstly, congratulations. So I think you are a well-prepared guy as of now for the actual interviews. Firstly, and secondly, just a small piece of advice, and just to build upon Chirag sir and Vikram. So basically, having a broader perspective of the global economy would help you a lot.
Okay.
So have a good info around that as well.
See, Shresh, why Anurag sir is saying? See, why Anurag sir is saying this? Because your IT industry is not linked to India. It is directly linked to US. Fine. You are
Okay.
we as an IT industry are exporting business. So you have to know
Yes, sir.
something about the global markets as well. Because one or the other interviewer will be asking you about the dollar rates, Ukraine, Russia, or something, Afghanistan, US. Somewhat a question can encounter you on US, USD, crude oil. These are the basic global indices or global things or global phenomena that are actually going around right now. So I will. This is just a piece of advice from my side. Work on those as well.
Sure, sir. I'll keep.
Fine.
Yeah, sure, sir. I'll keep those in mind. Yeah.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
And be ready for the question based on your hobbies. Be prepared for that.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Fine.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Overall, you did very
Sure,
good,
sir.
very good, and I am very confident. Yeah, you will be coming back with a very positive result.
So thank you for the vote of confidence. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And thank you all for your feedback. I'll surely keep those in mind and work upon those.
Absolutely.
My interview is actually on 28th of February, so I have a week around in between.
Work on those
I'll
points.
try to work on that. Sure, sir.
Okay. All the best. All the best, Resh.
Definitely.
Take care.